Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, Jan Michael here. Well, the reviews are over, so of course it's time for my final Oscar predictions. I'm excited to finally share these with you guys, so let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and just dive right on in. Now, I'm actually not going to go in my typical order. I'm going to save the big awards for last. I just think it's more exciting to talk about those at the end. So, that being said, guys, let's go ahead and start off with a very, very easy one. Visual effects. It's going to Dune, right? I think this is the number one that even the people that have been changing their minds and having second thoughts have kind of stuck with and said, no, there's no way it can go to anything else. It's going to Dune. And I completely agree. It is going to go to Dune. Lock it in 100%. Makeup and hairstyling has definitely gone through a lot of transformation, no pun intended, but for the longest time I did think it was going to go to House of Gucci. Even after the surprise of House of Gucci barely getting into the Oscars, I still thought that it could pull off the win here. I mean, bad films have technically gone home with this award in the past, so it wouldn't be unexpected. But it looks like they are really pushing for Eyes of Tammy Faye to take it, so I gotta shift my pick over to that one, and I don't think it's a bad one. I think it's very well deserved. It's not perfect, but that being said, what they did with Jessica Chastain and how they transformed her is very impressive, so I am very well okay with this win. Costume design is going to Cruella. I've been saying that from the very beginning. It is a movie about costumes. How do you not think of Cruella when you're voting for the costume award? And I saw a lot of people really pushing it off, now putting it on their top 5 or having it at the very bottom. And now finally they're like, oh yeah, it's gonna go Cruella. No, duh. So come on guys, work with me here. Costumes, Cruella. We got it? Good. I'm actually, for my predictions, not gonna go full Dune. Is it a dumb move? Probably, but I do think that Dune isn't going to be that sweep that a lot of people think it's going to be. Not that I bumped into many that have thought it's going to sweep all the awards, but at least in the Technica category, a lot of people are just playing it safe and just going for Dune in every single one. I don't want to do that. I think that's really boring, so I'm going to take some risks here and there. For production design, I am going to go Nightmare Alley. I know that's probably a dumb move. Nightmare Alley is the runner-up, but really, it seems like an award that is going to go Dune's way, but I'm going to take a gamble here. I like surprises, and if this one ends up surprising, I wouldn't be upset if it did go to Nightmare Alley. It is a production design that I find more appealing to myself. Not saying that Dune's bad or not appealing. I really like the production design in Nightmare Alley just slightly more. So that's me. I'm going that route. I'm going to take a risk. Hopefully it pays off. Moving back on the Dune front, sound. It's going to Dune. Another one that is pretty much a no-brainer. I think we could just lock that into place. Original song is definitely going to go to No Time to Die. I don't think we're going to get a surprise this year. Not that we can't get a surprise, but just the way that this one has really been sweeping a lot of the awards, I don't think it's really going to happen. So I'm okay with that. I really like that song. So for me, this is a good win. Once again, going back to Dune, we've got original score, which I do think Dune is going to take home as well. There is that possibility that Johnny Greenwood could take it for The Power of the Dog, but I think a lot of people really want to honor Hans Zimmer again, so I think we're pretty much safe with Dune taking this one home. With editing, I have to pause because I'm just not quite sure. You would think Dune, right? It is a very technically impressive film, and that includes the editing. But I don't think it's been doing that fantastic at other award ceremonies, so I'm kind of hesitant to pick it here. So you'd think, well, The Power of the Dog, right? That's one of the possibilities for winning Best Picture, so it would go there. But I just don't think its editing is very noticeable. And with this award, a lot of the times you'll give it to the film that you notice the editing in it. So, okay, maybe Tick, Tick, Boom, right? But again, I can't think of the editing too much in that film either. It is a musical though, so you know there's gotta be some editing going on with the dancing and everything. I can't quite think of any unique techniques in the film, or recalling it, I should say. If West Side Story was here, I would definitely vote for it. And it's really weird that it's not. So I know a lot of people have gone with King Richard, and it makes sense, it's a sports film, so you do need the editing to keep it very exciting. So I'm not gonna go that route. I'm actually gonna stick with Dune. I know King Richard. Something in my mind tells me, yeah, King Richard could definitely take it, but I'm gonna stick with Dune this time around. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Dune, but I'm not 100% confident with this one. All right, cinematography is next, and while you would think I would pick Dune, and really if you want to play it safe, you should pick Dune, I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to go The Power of the Dog. I know that's really been winning the cinematography more in the critic side of things, but again, if this goes back to my personal preference, I do like the cinematography done in The Power of the Dog more than Dune. Not saying Dune has bad cinematography, it just, The Power of the Dog appeals to me a little bit more. It's just personal preference on that front. And I feel it could pull off a surprise here. But again, if you want to play it safe, the smarter choice is going Dune. I want to take risks here and there to see if they pay off. So this is another one that I'm hoping will. Live action short film is next, which is my weakest category. I always do terribly with these. I managed to see 3 of them. I missed Take and Run and I missed Please Hold. Really wanted to see Take and Run. I had a feeling that maybe that one would be the one to give The Long Goodbye a run for its money, but sadly I didn't get a chance to see it and not a lot of other people have been talking about it, so I have to go The Long Goodbye. And not just because Riz Ahmed is in it. A lot of people are like, well, there's going to be star power behind this one. But as last year shows, that's not always the defining factor for the winner. I also heard that when you have kids in the live action short film, they typically go with that, and sure enough, there is a kid in this one, so that I feel maybe a little bit more strongly for. So I think it's a little bit too heavy-handed. It kind of spells its message out right in your face, which I'm not always the biggest fan of, but out of the 3 that I've seen, I do think The Long Goodbye is probably the strongest one. So gonna follow suit, gonna pick this one to win. I did much better with documentary short, only missing When We Were Bullies, which a lot of people actually have towards the bottom of their predictions. They think it's the least likely to win, so I don't think I'm missing anything too severe in terms of who could win. That being said, I think a lot of people agree with The Queen of Basketball taking this one home. And for me, out of all the documentary shorts, it is the one that I was most engrossed in. I love the subject, and I love the interview with the lady. She was so cool. She had this energy and this personality that really made you gravitate towards her. So I'm all on board. The Queen of Basketball, I hope it takes it home. It's very well deserving. Following that one up, we have documentary feature. And of course, just like everyone else, I'm going to say Summer of Soul. And I'm so glad, because it is definitely well deserving. This movie went from us being afraid that it was going to be the one to get snubbed to now being the front runner. And I'm so glad for its journey. It's very well deserved. The only one that I feel could maybe steal the win is Flea. And that's not a bad film as well, but I do think Summer of Soul is more worthy. So crossing my fingers that this is one that everyone is unanimous on. Another super easy one, international feature film, is Going to Drive My Car. It's nominated for Best Picture. I'm not going to entertain the possibility of anything else taking it. It would be a huge surprise if anything else did. What was up with all the nudity in the animated shorts this year? Like, every single one of them had nudity in it. Especially Robin. Fucking bird cloaca all over the damn place. Alright, look, jokes aside, I know a lot of people are going for Robin. I thought that movie was fine. I thought it was cute, but it definitely lasted way too long. In fact, a lot of these I thought were a little bit too long, and I was kind of bored with them, even though they were shorts. The only one that didn't, and I was really engaged with, was Bestia. It's a weird one, mind you. It's a weird one. I don't think everyone's going to be on board with it, but it was telling such an interesting tale that I really wanted to see it continue. And when it ended, I was like, no, that's it. I want to see more. So that to me maybe is what other people are also feeling. So gonna go with Bestie. I'm not gonna follow everyone with Robin. And of course, following up that one, we have animated feature film, which is definitely the one award that has my heart hurting the most. Look, I get that Encanto is your front runner and it's most definitely going to win the award. But we can all agree that The Mitchells is a better film, right? I really like the full product of the Mitchells way more than I did in Canto. And Canto definitely has its catchy songs, don't get me wrong, but I think overall the product of the Mitchells was much stronger. And so I'm going to take a huge gamble here, a huge gamble, and say the Mitchells is going to take it. I know, it wasn't even nominated at the Golden Globes and, all that bullshit. I think this is finally going to be the film that breaks the mold. I'm going to take a gamble on it. If you're smart, don't do what I'm doing, go in Canto, but I'm going to take the risk here. And again, hopefully it pays off because I do think it's the more worthy winner. Okay, and now we get to the big ones, starting with adapted screenplay. Okay, so I guess you can make the argument of who's going to take home Best Picture. Is it going to be Coda or is it going to be Power of the Dog? Now, if Coda takes this one, I don't think that means that Power of the Dog won't take Best Picture. Because I think sometimes they do like to honor the films that aren't going to get as much love in the writing categories. So I think that's a possibility. And if the Power of the Dog does end up taking this one, I'm pretty much sure it almost completely cinches the win for it. So Coda needs to win this one for me to continue thinking it's going to win Best Picture at the end of the night. But if Coda does win, I don't think the race is over. I will still be at the edge of my seat waiting to see who takes home Best Picture. So that's what we got for this one. Very, very exciting. This is definitely going to be one of the most exciting awards of the night. Original screenplay is also in the same boat. Like, I'm not going to bore you with statistics and all that stuff. That's not what I'm about. But, we can all agree that it's either going to be Belfast, it's going to be Don't Look Up, or it's going to be Licorice Pizza, right? I think it's a fight between these three right now. Meanwhile, King Richard is fucking drooling in the corner, and The Worst Person in the World is far too good for this and is off, enjoying whatever it's doing. Worst Person in the World, definitely the most deserving. But it's not going to. I think it's a fight between these three right here. That being said, I wouldn't go for Don't Look Up just because I think they're going to want to either give Kenneth or they're going to want to give Paul their Oscar finally. Who is it going to be? I mean, take a guess. I know Licorice Pizza kind of fumbled at the very end, but it was doing well up until then. And if you want to throw your statistics, you could go Belfast as well. I'm just going to go with Belfast. Just because, as I mentioned in my review, Licorice Pizza does leave that kind of bad taste in my mouth. It is very well written, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. There's just something about it that rubs me the wrong way. So, and if you see my review, you know why, but I'm going to go Belfast because of those reasons. Supporting actress is next, and honestly, let's just be honest, it's probably going to be Judi Dench. She's going to pull off another Shakespeare in Love moment. I'm just fucking with you. It's Ariana DeBose. Lock it in. Let's just move on, okay? Best Supporting Actor is going to go to Troy Kotsur. He's fucking killing it at the major award festivals right now, and goddamn, the speeches that he's doing have won over everybody. So, yeah, I think it's a safe bet there. I don't think Cody Smith-McPhee is 100% out of the running. It could be some weird fucking dimensional surprise, but I don't think you have a lot to worry about there. I think Troy's got this in the bag. Very well deserved. I'm completely happy with this win. I'm actually kind of upset how the drama has kind of dissipated from Best Actress. I mean, I loved the chaos of it all. Of, oh my god, who's gonna win? And all that stuff. Kind of how last year, how all the award fucking circuits were giving it to somebody completely different. And at the end, you were like, oh my god, who's gonna be? You were at the edge of your seat. And now it just seems like it's gonna be Jessica Chastain's. Don't get me wrong, I fucking love it. I love Jessica. I think she's amazing. She definitely deserves her Oscar. I'm completely on board. But I just like the tension and the excitement when it is a competition and you're just not quite sure. So I wish we had that for a bit longer, but who knows? Who knows? This could still be a surprise. Yeah, it would be one of those surprises where I'm like, holy shit! And then I'd be like, oh, holy shit, Jessica lost again. So, yeah, I'm hoping Jessica takes the win here. I'm rooting for you, Jessica. You deserve it. For Best Actor, it's going to go to Will Smith. And if you've seen my review of King Richard, you know exactly what I think about that. The man is talented, and I know he's had a long and fruitful career. I just don't think this is his best work. I do think that Benedict is the stronger pick. But I'm not going to get sour about it. Congratulations, Will. If you do take it home, I'm very happy for you. I know you've been wanting it for the longest time now, so I hope you enjoy it. And please, come on, take more risk in the future. You got your Oscar. Take more risk in the future now, please. I'd like to see what you can really do now. Director is Jane Campion. I mean, just fucking move on. Let's just get to Best Picture already. Okay, let's slow it down. Let's slow it way down. Now, to me, the type of films that I like to see win Best Picture fall into one of three categories. At the very bottom, just something that is so technically amazing that you marvel at it, that it's going to last for fucking generations. I almost think of Ben-Hur with that, where the movie is almost a product of the time, but you see the sets and you see what they accomplished, and even today you're like, holy shit, they managed to pull that off? That would be an example of something like that. The second thing is something so entertaining that you want to see it over and over and over again. I don't mean an action film. It could be, but you could have really good dramas. Think of like The Social Network for that one, where you see it and you're like, oh my God, I want to see that shit again and again, and I want to show it to other people. That's number two. And number three is something important. Something that I think needs to be shown to a vast majority of people for them to really sink their brains into and have discussions about and examine. And for that, think of Schindler's List. Something important that needs to go down in history and be remembered. So I don't quite think we have anything in this selection that meets with my criteria of it. There's some things that get close, don't get me wrong, like Dune, fucking technical marvel, but there's nothing that like has made my head explode and go, holy fucking shit, that's the one. So with that being said, I actually wouldn't be upset if a lot of these films ended up taking home the win. There's only a few that I really don't want to see it go home with. Number one, Don't Look Up. I don't think it needs to go to this one. It's not Adam's strongest work. It talks down to you far too much. It has that, that wagging of the finger right in your fucking face. No, thank you. Please don't let it go there. Number two, King Richard. It is such a generic story. We've seen it done a million times before. We've seen it done a million times before better. So please not King Richard. Number three, Nightmare Alley. On a technical scale, that production is fucking amazing. But I think little else about that film is. So I don't think it's a film that I really, really want to see take home the win here. So please not that one. And personally, I wouldn't want to see Licorice Pizza take home the win. And again, you can look at my review for why. But those are really the films that, if anything else takes it home, I'll be fine. I'll be completely fine with it. That being said, if we're getting down to brass tacks, it is between Coda and The Power of the Dog. And a lot of people, and I mean pretty much everybody that I follow on YouTube that talks about the Oscars, have switched over to Coda. And I completely understand why. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with Power of the Dog. Because while all those people are like, oh, it just makes more sense for that one to win, or they're saying, yeah, that one I liked a lot more, or it had more heart to it, so on and so forth. I like the story in The Power of the Dog. I like films where at the very end, you're kind of like stuck. You're kind of, it's mulling over in your brain, and you're like, what do I really think about that? Why did that happen? I have to process it, and it really gets me thinking. Coda is fine. I enjoyed it enough. I didn't have that emotional connection to it as a lot of other people did, but that's fine. A lot of other people did. But it's not a film that it taxes your brain. And I like my brain to be taxed a lot more. So that's why for me personally, I'm going to go The Power of the Dog. But if Coda wins, that's fine. I'm not going to be upset about it. I'll be very happy for the film. Just please, not any of the other ones. Not any of those other four. Yes, please. And those are my final predictions, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't want to go into great detail with all of them. I know I kind of did with some, but this is really the last time I'm going to really get into this much detail with these films. I'm ready to move on to the next year. I'm ready for a break from these ones. So, yeah, tomorrow tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, the Oscars are finally gonna happen. I'm fucking excited. This is like my Christmas. Like I'm trying to contain myself, but I truly do love this. That being said, fuck you, Oscars, for not showing every single award. That pre-screening, the pre-shooting thing, that's fucking bullshit, and you should be ashamed of yourself. And I don't fucking buy it for a second that ABC just went up and said, oh, if you don't cut these out, we're just not going to show the Oscars. I don't fucking buy it. They've spent the money already. You really think they're just not going to show the Oscars? You tell them, well, fuck you, then we place it online, and you really see how many people are going to watch the damn thing. And if ABC really did follow with that threat, then fuck you guys too. All right, rant over. Back to being excited, guys. So please join me sometime in the future. I will be doing a reactions video to the winners. I will do it right, I promise. Pulling out all the stops for that one. So yeah, here we go, guys. What do you think is going to win? Yeah, let me know in the comments below. And until then, stay safe out there and have a good one.